Lexus has just revealed the 2026 ES, and it's not the full redesign we were expecting. It's another refresh. Today we're going to break this down. What the heck is going on with the ES? Are we going to get this ES in the United States? Afterwards, we're going to talk about the RZ, Lexus's only electric vehicle in the United States. I mean, it's about 10 grand or more less expensive than what it was last year. We'll talk about that. Also, this is huge Toyota news as well. Toyota revising their plans to churn out more cars without investing a whole lot of money to build more plants. We'll talk about that today as well. If you guys are excited for today's news, smash the heck out of the like button and make sure you subscribe because I will be reviewing some more Lexuses here in the near future. Let's start with the ES. The ES, we had patent leaks for the design anyways. We had spy shots a couple weeks ago on this design in China. And this is at actually the Lexus Chinese page. I looked through all the other global pages of the ES and Lexus. No other global page, US, Europe, Japan, none of them have this design for the ES. All right. So let's break down the design, then I'll talk about what's going on here, or at least my opinion on what's going on here. The colors here, it's too bad there's no red. Not sure why there's no red. Maybe it's Chinese market doesn't like reds, but it looks like we have a nori green here. This is actually a really cool page. I have never seen this on any other Lexus page. It's kind of 3D modeler, so it's pretty cool. This kind of looks like Nightfall Mica, but again, they could have different colors just for the Chinese market. It's quite possible. But you have a bunch of different grays, silvers, whites, pretty boring stuff. All right. So let's talk about the design here and let's go back to the actual images instead of the 3D models. The front end, they have a different grille design. You still have some verticality to it. Let's go and I'll just pull up on the screen the old grille design, which had lots of vertical parallel lines. This adds in some of the, I don't know, oblong design horizontal pieces here that we see in the LBX, that we see kind of in the RX as well. Now these headlights are not luxury looking to me. I'm not saying that they're cheap. I just don't like the design of it. It's too busy. You have two L motifs. Lexus has never put, okay, I take that back. If you look at the LM luxury minivan that is also sold in China, which is probably the main market for the LM, I think they have opposing daytime running lights as well. Here, it's just, it's not elegant. The ES is known for elegance, all right? And this is just too busy, in my opinion, for the daytime running lights. So two L motifs, two boomerangs, whatever you want to call them. It's just too busy for me. I currently like the normal model that we have in the States, all right? The wheel designs, this has not changed since the 2019 model. When this model got redesigned for, what are we on, the 7th generation ES? Seventh generation, I'm pretty sure. All right, we also have some more pictures here, and we'll get on the inside as well. Double L-shaped matrix LED lights, they call these. The light bar in the back is new. Let me know what you think of it. It doesn't mean much to me. It kind of brings it in line with most of Lexus's, oh, wow, this is a terrible interior. But this brings it in line with a lot of Lexus design. It doesn't look as nice, in my opinion, as the, well, it looks better than the, let's say, the GX's rear, but I just reviewed the NX. I think the NX looks more premium, but the NX was designed first and foremost to have the light bar. This is kind of an afterthought. All right, this is, well, they got rid of the physical climate controls here. They slapped in the new 14-inch screen. They kept the clock, though. I will give them that. But this red and bamboo interior looks terrible. Now, they've added ambient lighting here, which I don't believe was there on the pre-refresh. Okay, they've also put in a different shifter, it looks like, and maybe revised this area here. All right, when this Lexus ES came out, it still had the touchpad, if I remember. All right, but the bamboo and the red and this black, it just does not look cohesive. And this touchscreen, I don't know. It's not the worst touchscreen experience I've had. I mean, the Germans typically are far more infuriating than Lexus's climate control interface. It's just I'd rather have physical buttons and switches and knobs. Oh my gosh. Red, white. Oh my, this tan interior looks a lot better here. Here's another screen here of the ambient lighting selection. Mark Levinson sound. Different engine options. Obviously, this is a 2.5 liter engine that we see in the ES 250. We also see a variant of the engine, the ES 300H. It has a nickel metal hydride battery pack, so it's still running. The ES powertrain here is so old, even in the hybrid. It's just really underwhelming. It's good, it's reliable, it's bulletproof, it's smooth enough, it's very efficient. It's just not as refined, anywhere close to the 5th gen system that's seen in the new Camry. You know, I will say from head on, the LED headlights, the new LED headlights and the new front grille looks okay. Let me know what you guys think. And that's about it. So what do I think about this new ES? Well, the fact that it's only advertised on the Chinese page, it could mean that it's really a design only for the Chinese market. Now, the Chinese market is a beast of its own. You see cars getting refreshed and updated. Like, it doesn't have to be the traditional 3-year refresh or every 6-year redesign cycle, which is traditional in the West, or at least it used to be. Now it's anywhere from 6 to 8 years at this point, it seems. This is the sort of thing that Lexus, I feel like, has to do to remain competitive and relevant, make a splash, have different headlights, have different grille styles, have different interior almost every single year, or at least get their cars up to date. They have to move fast there to stay relevant. The culture over there is also far more techie focused. They're not as focused on physical knobs like we are here. So like that's why they moved to the touchscreen only interface there. And I think that'll do well for the Chinese market. They added ambient lighting. They added a little bit more fancy bits and bobs, or at least in terms of, I mean, it's still, look at this. It looks like it's still the old 7-inch screen here. I'm pretty sure it is. They haven't even moved to the 12-inch screen, I don't believe. Yeah, looking at this, it looks like the 7-inch screen, because this looks like a physical dial here for coolant temperature or something. It'll be fine for the Chinese market. I hope they don't bring it to any other market, to be honest. It's a step back in interior and exterior design, in my opinion. All right. Maybe the exterior would grow on me, but the interior, absolutely not. I want my physical climate controls. So let me know what you guys think of the ES. I think it's a Chinese exclusive. You know, here's the thing. The ES leaves the Kentucky plant. It's also built in 2 other places in the world. It's built in India because of the luxury tax to import cars there is so high. So they build the ES actually in India. They also build it in Japan. This is probably going to be a Chinese exclusive, still built in Japan, mind you. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. I don't want them to put these updates or quote unquote updates into the North American model. All right. But anyways, it leaves Kentucky next summer. It goes back to Japan full time to be produced there while they rework the Kentucky plant, which we'll talk about plant renovations here in a little bit for Toyota and Lexus. So it goes back to Japan, and we're supposed to get a redesign for this vehicle. It's due for a redesign, not a refresh, but the redesign must not be ready. And so in order for this vehicle to stay relevant in China, they're like giving it a last second refresh here. So I don't see this being a 1-year refresh for the Chinese market. I see this probably being a 2-year refresh for the Chinese market until they bring in an 8th gen ES that will have the 5th gen hybrid called the ES 350H. That'll have around 230 horsepower, all-wheel drive finally on an ES. It's going to be fantastic. You're also trademarked is ES 350E. We know EVs are super huge in China. ES 500E, again, a more performance-oriented F-Sport performance model. EVs here in the United States have flatlined. They're not, I mean, Tesla's down, Rivian's down. The rest of the competitors are up, but the overall market's kind of flatlined for EVs in the United States. Trump's getting in. They want to kill the EV tax credit. So it's just not looking that favorable for EVs. But I'd like for them to at least have that option as available EVs in America, because, man, they would be super smooth and efficient. All right, let's move on. Speaking of EVs, which I know most of you don't care about the RZ. If you get a good lease deal in the RZ, that's great. But check this out. Entry-level RZ 300e is added. Now, we've already known about this. They added this for the last model year. For the 2024 model year, I believe they added the RZ 300e. But what they did do is they reduced the price massively. So let me look up RZ 300e MSRP. It was check this out, $54,000 for a front-wheel drive RZ, which is essentially a BZ4X. So what they're doing here is putting the CATL battery in here, the Chinese battery, to reduce the costs. Apparently, it reduced the costs 10 grand over the Prime Planet Energy and Solutions, which is essentially Toyota and Panasonic's joint venture battery made in Japan. So that's the thing. No one can compete with Chinese battery costs or Chinese EV technology, really. So Toyota and Lexus will say, hey, well, we're just going to offer a cheaper RZ here with the Chinese battery, and you can have it for 10 grand less. I still don't know if it's worth it over the BZ4X. I'll let you guys decide that, but there's nothing else to talk about here. The front wheel drive RZ, 201 horsepower, 266 miles of range, and they charge slowly. So it's just a city EV. Let's get into this. This is huge news. Toyota's Area 35, it sounds like top secret government, Area 51, right? Their cost savings plan to make 3.5 million EVs or whatever customers want. Toyota's going to fall back on this. You know, they wanted to make 1.5 million EVs, I think by 2026. They're not going to be able to, well, they might be able to do it, but they're not going to do it. The customer demand just isn't there. And I don't think the customer demand, unless they have solid-state batteries and cheap EVs that charge fast, I just don't see them selling 3.5 million EVs by 2030 either. So here are the huge bullet points to Area 35. It's going to affect existing plants. Compact floor space by 35% of global assembly plants to achieve current capacity with a smaller footprint while creating reserve space for additional output. All right, that makes sense. More efficient use of your own floor space so you can make more vehicles. Global parts, they're going to reduce the variety of components used worldwide by 35% to simplify production, focus on core model variants, and speed product development. Well, this has its pros and cons. It'll make Toyota more money. In theory, could reduce production costs, which could reduce price tags, which I highly doubt. They won't be as hamstrung by supply chain disruptions. In theory, they can also speed product development, as what it says right here, and focus on core model variants. That's the thing. Like, you're going to see less trim levels, which there are already way too many effing trim levels out there. Mazda just came out saying that they're going to be doing the same thing, focus on less trim levels. You only need 3 trim levels: base, mid-grade, and a luxury grade. Any more than that is just silly. And so we're going to start seeing a killing off of like these nightshade editions. In my opinion, you're probably going to start seeing killing offs of like these 40th anniversary editions. That'd be my guess, unless they can just get these cheap stickers and, you know, call it, 40th anniversary. You're not going to see like extreme TRD models anymore. I don't think. Like, it's just going to be cut and paste, very simple. And it's going to reduce costs massively. And we've been seeing this throughout the industry over the years, but it looks like it's going to that next level. And that's going to make it so much easier for the consumer, so much easier for the producer, which is Toyota in this situation. I already talked about Mazda, but everyone's going to be doing this. So, I mean, look at Tesla. Look how small. I mean, everyone's learning from Tesla, the Chinese, and reducing the amount of variations. Variations makes production more expensive, more fickle to display, like more fickle to disruptions, and it just makes it more expensive too. So everything's going to get boiled down to the most common denominators. All right. So if we're looking at a Camry, it'll be Camry, LE. I mean, there's only 4 Camry levels, right? LE, SE, XSE, and XLE. That makes sense. They're not going to offer any more than that. Yes, maybe some special sticker packs or something, but something. But let's keep moving. Corporate profits. I already talked about how so this is going to boost their bottom line profit an extra 3.5% year over year, which is hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Product speed, streamline product development, giving engineers extra bandwidth to deliver 3 additional full model changes they couldn't complete otherwise. Now, this is a bit of a gray area. There's not a lot of explanation here what 3 additional full model changes means. That could mean on just a singular platform. So if we look at the Camry, it came out with the TNGA platform in 2017. It just got its second revised K platform for 2025 model year. And then we probably get a third revision of the K platform, but it's going to be accelerated here. So maybe we finally get back to 6-year model cycles. Let's see your EV preparation position Toyota to be able to produce 3.5 million annually in 2030. Again, I don't believe that. Current footprint, Toyota runs 54 assembly plants worldwide and produced a record 11.2 million vehicles in the fiscal year ended March 31st, including output from Daihatsu and Hino. They want to produce more than 11.5 million vehicles or over 11 million. So look, let's say best case scenario, they're able to get an extra 30% production capacity per plant. They're going to be close, in theory, close to be able to making 15 million vehicles per year after every single plant is updated to this more efficient business model here. Some 80,000 vehicles of additional capacity have already added to production in Japan since starting the initiative in August 2023. 80,000 vehicles. That is impressive. So anyways, I'm going to shut it down there. I'll see you guys in the comments below. Do you want this refreshed ES in the United States? I just want the redesign already. RZ, it's a big nothing burger because we're just waiting for the next gen platform. Gigacasting, next gen batteries, next gen charging, next gen software coming in 2026. This is just like a carryover, whatever. It's a fancy BZ4X. Toyota is going to be producing more vehicles than ever, reducing options, and hopefully that makes vehicles cheaper for us long term. They need to make it happen because vehicles are just too expensive right now. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned for more Toyota and Lexus updates. Peace out.